grounded. Spread a little aloha around the world at breakfast with Bob.
Thank you, Poncho Man. Welcome, everybody. Breakfast with Bob, our Nice World Championship edition. My name is Bob Babbitt. We are brought to you by HOKA Fly Human Fly, Master Spas, Precision Fuel and Hydration, Deboer Wetsuits, Outrigger Kona Resort and Spa, Stay Longer and Save More, and of course, our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, we met for the first time at San Francisco T100, where he took 5th place. Mr. Jamie Riddle joins us. Jamie, how you doing, bud?
I'm good, thanks to yourself, Bob.
I am wonderful, and you had a great race there, bud. You got 5th at T100, and that's when people see 5th, they don't think that, oh well, big deal, 5th place. But those are world-class fields. Every time you go to a T100, it's like a world championship race. Were you happy with that?
Yeah, extremely happy with that. It was a wild card start, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. But I've always had a little bit of self-belief. But to see things come to fruition is pretty cool. And that's, as I said already, it's a little stepping stone into the bigger goal and the bigger dreams. But I'm very happy and content with that. But obviously leading into, I believe, the biggest start in the world, I'm obviously looking to try to get a little bit more out of myself.
So you went to the Olympics. You just went to the Olympics in 2024 in Paris, 25th there. What was that experience like for you?
I think it's quite funny. Like with the Olympics, you always have like two sides of the coin. Unfortunately, mine fell on the wrong side. I had a pretty negative experience with the Olympics. In terms of selection criteria, it was my country made it extremely difficult for myself. But we got it done. And yeah, it kind of just left, I wouldn't say like a bitter taste in my mouth, but it wasn't everything I had dreamt of it to be. And that kind of actually is what has led me to sitting here today and take on this new trajectory on my journey. But the Olympics was, any kids watching this or any aspiring Olympians, I don't want to, portray the wrong message, but it just wasn't what I wanted it to be. And, LA's coming around, maybe I'll go make amends with that and try, reshift everything that it was. But I think Olympics is not the same as Ironman. Ironman is a family. Ironman is a journey. The race itself is quite, you really have to search within, whereas the Olympics can be very lonely at times.
Well, the side of that is the politics. I mean, you just want to race. You want to train. You want to race. Best people go. And sometimes the politics in triathlon, and not just triathlon, in all of Olympic sports, can be overwhelming. Just getting to the starting line seems like way too much effort rather than just being an athlete. So I totally get it. The nice thing about when you move to the longer distance, you can wear whatever kit you want. You can sell whatever sponsor you want. You are an independent person who's going to make his living based on not just how you race, but like you've got 94,000 followers on Instagram. You've built a following that allows you to create your own business, which you really can't do as an Olympic athlete because you're part of it.
Exactly. And you're exactly right with that. And, I just came to the decision that, when I cross the line, I don't want the feeling to just be a relief that I got something done or achieved something. And I just questioned, why was I doing what I was doing? I think I started this with the Kona dream. And as I went through high school, just with my friends and mates around, like Olympics was the thing that kind of everyone understood. So I was like, oh, it'd be really cool if I could achieve that. And then I got into the system and it was about proving, I guess, myself, but also others that I could do these things. And yeah, I was sitting off that race, seeing so many like disappointed faces and different emotions. And my own emotions was like, what did I just do this whole for? And I just it didn't sit well with me. And exactly what you said, I wanted to go create my own story. I wanted to inspire. I wanted to, what the funny thing is like in life, we have choices and sometimes we feel like we can't make choices, but we're the captains of our ship. And that's kind of just what I did is I just made my own choices and here I am.
Well, and the hard part is when you're from South Africa or if you're from New Zealand, from Australia, there's not really that much of a way to make a living at home. You have to travel. You got to go to Europe. You got to go to the States. You got to go to Asia. You got to go to other places. For a young guy like yourself going, okay, and it's not like you can leave for the weekend. When you leave South Africa, you're going, and how long have you been on the road now?
You're exactly right. I think with the Ironman journey, it's slightly easier. I'm a big family man. I'm a big community guy. I love South Africa. But you're right. Like the blueprint that was laid out was kind of like, get overseas, get into some foreign training environment where you're not surrounded by familiar faces, and become a monk, and just like live by the sword, die by the sword type mentality. And that's just not me. That's just not who I am. So it was extremely difficult, and through that process, lost myself a little bit. But the beauty about losing yourself is you have the opportunity to find yourself again, and that's exactly what happened. And I think we're scratching the surface of the new era of Jamie, or whatever the case might be, and it's really exciting because I'm happy.
Well, that's the thing. You're happy, you're enjoying it. Because when you're racing, I always look at the ITU racing that the best guy doesn't always win because it's so strategic. When you get into these races, it's you against you and you against the course. So you can be friends with the guys you're training with. You can be, because they can't control what you do on race day. So I just think there's a more camaraderie among the pros in this world, in the longer distance training, longer distance racing than we see in the Olympic format.
Yeah, 100% right. I mean, I just came off a training camp with Nick Thompson and Sam Laidlow and a good friend of mine, Dylan's, and that's an ex-world champion. Nick Thompson beat me in Cairns. He ripped my bike to shreds ripped my legs to shreds on the bike, and we had the best camp. And yeah, he's one of my best mates, and Sam's a great mate now. So, I mean, you see that a little bit in the ITU scene. You see groups like forming, but there's always I don't want to say there's a bit of ego behind it, because I think as athletes you got to have that. You got to have that like little side, that little and not devilish side, but the other side of you. But it's been a much more fulfilling journey in the full sense of the word.
So this year, 5th to South Africa with a solid race, 2:46 marathon, 8:09. 4th at Cairns, 5th at South Africa, at the San Francisco T100. I mean, the T100 and Ironman are two different worlds, and you're having success across all platforms. Have you surprised yourself that you're having success really at everything you're doing?
Again, like, I don't think it's a case of surprising myself. It's obviously incredibly satisfying. I think I have like some really big dreams. So if we talk about in particular Cairns and South Africa, I was extremely proud of those results, and I think it's good indications. But it's definitely not the same Jamie going into meet is the same Jamie that was on those start lines. And you say like San Francisco T100 half Ironman is completely different to the full. That's something that I didn't really realize. Like before both South Africa and Cairns, I'd never done a 5-hour ride in my life, and then I kind of got with Nick, and he kind of spoke to me and said, like, mate, like you got the goods, you just need to shift a few things. And luckily together we've been able to get with, the best cyclist in the world, in triathlon, Sam Laidlow, got some good 5-6 hour rides in, multiple of them. And I just feel a lot more prepared, a lot more confident, I guess, in heading into this race. There's I think 10 guys that can win this race. It's honestly going to be such an awesome day for our sport. But yeah, to throw my name in the hat is going to be pretty cool. But yeah, I don't think South Africa and Cairns is necessarily what I am going off heading into this race.
So you're training with Sam Laidlow. What did you take away from the guy who won this race 2 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing that I took away is the self-belief and confidence that he and his father have in what they're doing, and their ability to not get distracted. Where they're from in Amalie, it's in the middle of nowhere, really. And it was quite beautiful to see, their family mission. I resonated a lot with it. My family is on this project with me. I wouldn't say there was no magic sessions, and honestly, the inverse was true. Like, he was the type of person that was going to skip the last rep if that was the decision come by Richard or whoever the case may be. It's just this, yeah. I mean, you see it all the time. Like, you have to be confident in your product, in what you're doing, and you have to be have a higher self belief. And I think Sam has that. You know, in the sessions, I just saw that, and it really, you know, inspired me, and you know, allowed me to look at my own project and be like, you know, you got to believe in what you're doing and who you are, and that will give you the best. That was really the biggest thing I learned from that camp.
In 2024, when you get second at 70.3 Western Australia, I mean, that's, you know, being on the podium, getting second place, silver medal. How much confidence do you gain from that?
For sure, and I think that was my second 70.3 ever, and actually the first one I finished because the first one I finished because my first one I actually had an injury. So yeah, I think it was a big step, like for myself, to validate, you know, all the self-belief that I do have. I think in particular that race was, I think we had like Christian Hogenhaar, Robert Calling, we had Nick Thompson, who's an incredible cyclist in his own right. And luckily for me, I didn't know who these guys were, and I just thought, you know, follow the wheel. So I think in terms of the biking, that was the big confidence booster. I know I can run pretty quick. I've got some fast half marathon PBs and 10Ks and these sorts of things. But it was more just seeing my bike strength play a big role there. That was the big confidence. I think great. So
as somebody from South Africa, building up a following of 94,000 followers, was that a conscious effort on your part going, okay, I've got to make myself valuable here, valuable to sponsors, valuable to fans? Was that sort of the thinking that, hey, this is my profession. I'm going to be a professional triathlete, and that's not just swim, bike, run. There's a lot in this day and age. There's a lot more involved with being a professional athlete.
I think so, yes. There's also a side of it that, you know, it is extremely, it's who I am. Like, I am extremely like thought-provoking spiritual guy that is constantly like looking at my own struggles and trying to become a better human, and just being someone that wants to share that with others. So it wasn't necessarily to get the followers. It wasn't necessarily to obtain the sponsors. For sure, those are good byproducts of that. But I am extremely passionate about, you know, inspiring others, or just, you know, trying to help others. So that's kind of why it started. And funny enough, for the first time in like maybe a year and a half, I've actually like deleted my social media and all these sorts of things heading into this race, because you know, when you're trying to fill other people's cups, whether that be through social media or whatever the case may be, you're taking out of your own cup. And I just feel like for myself, this is the biggest dance of the year. I wanted to give myself the best opportunity to show up and show out. I did T100 London the other day, and I didn't finish, and that was attributed to a lot. But I think ultimately just not focusing on the priorities in my life, which is family, friends, you know, space and sport. So I just decided to kind of go my own mini monk mode. But yeah, the social media has been incredible. Obviously, I've created a massive following for, I guess, whatever I am at in the sport. So it is really cool.
And it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to be honest like that. It's hard to share because it's almost it's personal therapy, but people relate. People who are out there who are age group triathletes, or that doesn't matter if they're age group triathletes or runners or cyclists, they can relate to what you're going through, the challenges you're going through. And you're right to sort of divorce yourself from that around a big race, because you have an energy pie, right? And there's only a certain amount of slices. And if I had a coach tell me this once, he had a top duathlete by the name of Kenny Souza who was winning everything, and the following year he wasn't. And I said, what's going on? He goes, well, the energy pie is like this, and his slice was training, racing, recovery. Well, then he got married. Then he had a kid. Then he moved to Colorado. So the pie doesn't get bigger, the slices get skinnier. So if right now, your slice becomes a lot of social. With 94,000 followers, you got 94,000 people who want to touch you on a daily basis and want to connect with you.
Yeah,
that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of out of your energy pie.
Exactly. And even though it is incredibly fulfilling, and you know, right after this race, I'm going to jump back in and connect with that audience. It is exactly that. You know, in terms of like being vulnerable and in terms of being hard, something that I found for myself, which maybe the viewer can take a token from, is like, if you're truly being authentic to who you are, it's actually not that scary, because this is who I am. It's more just the perceived opinion of that people are going to have of you. But I think if you can just be authentic, there's a place for you in this world, and people will accept that. Not everyone. Whether you're the best guy in the world, the worst guy in the world, someone's going to hate you. So you can't worry too much about that. But I think it's been really good. The camp, I've never been fitter and in a healthier spot in my whole entire life. So I'm happy I took that social media break.
And this course suits you, the bike course, with 8,000 feet of climbing and in pretty treacherous descents?
I don't know. I think the swim obviously suits me. It looks like it's going to be a long wetsuit. So that's really good. In terms of like my weight, I'm around 72 kg. So it's funny, in the short course world, I was the heaviest guy, and now I've kind of found myself as one of the lighter guys. But I think in terms of bike strength, I really do back my power. I've seen that in the last week. So I'm quite excited that the drafting effect is going to be less. So I'm excited for that. But man, when you're descending with Nick Thompson, that is something to witness. And Sam Laidlow also. I'm quite a bit off there. So I know I'm going to concede at least the 90 seconds on the course just in the descending, because I think I might value my life a little bit more than theirs. I don't know, but I am extremely excited. I did the course for the first time today, actually.
Yeah,
and
how was it?
I did and it is beautiful. I don't know if I hate it or love it. It's like you're going 60, 70 k's an hour, and you're going through these tunnels, and you shouldn't be looking off the cliff, but everything in your body is telling you to like not look there, but you still look at this 100-foot drop. It's quite something. We're gonna have to overcome on September 14th.
I love it. Hey, Jamie, have yourself a great, great race. I'm really excited that you're in our world, and look at what you've accomplished in such a short time, man. It's really, really fun. How long were you involved with the Olympic format? Did you do that leading into Tokyo as well, or did it start after that?
No, so I'm only 25. So I did one 4-year cycle, and then kind of left. It's hard because you leave knowing that you could have done more, but I'm still happy with my decision. But a lot has happened in a short period, but by the 15th of December, I'm hoping that something bigger has happened.
I love it. And you saw our show way back when you were younger. You watched.
I saw it in Kona. Yeah, I've been there in 2012 with my father. He did the age group world championships, and that inspired me to take it on. And basically, ever since then, I've watched every single pre-race interview with the guys that I looked up to. So it's pretty cool to be on here today. Obviously, we got to meet in San Francisco, so that was also surreal. I'm a big fan of the sport. It is really cool.
So your dad got you into this?
Yeah, my dad definitely got me into this. I just wanted to, be just like my father. And they're coming up in a few days' time. They're going to be here. So it's going to be pretty cool to live out the stream with them. They're my family, my girlfriend. They're the best. So it's going to be awesome.
Well, that's a pretty major commitment for a family to come out from South Africa to be there to watch you race. Very fun. Jamie, have yourself a great race. I'm excited. We'll be chatting again sometime soon.
Yeah, hopefully the good next day. We'll see.
Jamie Riddle has been our guest, everybody. Hold on. We will be right back.